So with the adapter, like I said, it's 1/4 inch, so you just put them in there. Hey guys, Brad here, and today we're going to be taking a look at a little attachment for your impact driver. So why don't you come on in here and take a look. This little guy is something I think is really handy if you're running a 1/2 inch impact and you want to be able to put in bolts or screws, things that are maybe a little longer than normal, and might just end up cooking your regular impact drill, or driver. I have been doing a lot of 8-inch and 10-inch structural screws lately. These are, I'll think of the name, but these guys here, these are 8s, and I've been putting them into these 4x6s, and I've been finding some of the 4x6s it's no problem with a regular impact. And this is the, which one is this? This is the DCF 887. So I've been driving them no problem, but every once in a while it hits a knot or something like that, and literally this just bogs down and will not move, and the motor on the drill or impact starts to smoke or just smell. So I'm really kind of nervous about burning them out. Now, I've thought about buying a larger 20 volt max impact driver, but you know, the $300, $400, $500. So I've got this old one here, which honestly I've barely used. And this is the old 18 volt. I put an adapter on the bottom so I can run my 20 volt batteries. Okay. So that way I don't need to go out and spend $300 or $400. Even though I will say this, the new ones have the high-low buttons on the bottom, which this doesn't. And the trigger on this is not variable. This is just straight impact. This is the DW059. I don't even think you can buy this anymore, but I will leave a link down below if I see it on Amazon. And I'll leave a link to this guy here as well. But the beauty about this is just a lot more power than this. But this review isn't so much about the drills as it is about this little guy right here. So basically you've got a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch. So it just fits right on the front of this guy, no problem. Now I can drive, you know, using 1/4 inch bits. Now I know there's a risk of twisting my bits and breaking them. So I'm just, you know, it's a risk I'm willing to take because I don't really want to kill my impact drivers here. I've been using this 5/16 bit right here. And I've also got the T30 bit right here as well. So these are the different types of bolts I've been driving lately. And these guys in particular, I find, are not nearly as good as this style. We call these like a TRX or Torx bits is another wordage for them. And these ones here, these are Timberlock. Now I find with the Timberlock, a lot of the times when I'm driving them in, they can spin out pretty easily. And I feel like that's something to do with the diameter of the threads. I'm not sure, but anytime I'm using these and they start to spin, if I switch over to the more expensive style, these things will suck in no problem. They are by far the best bolt leg screw that is out there. I love them. You know, self-drilling, all that good stuff. So I'm in love with these, but these are just super expensive. They're about twice the price as the Timberlocks. And these I think are Timberlocks as well. I haven't used these as much. So what I'm going to do is just drive some into this 4x6 here. I'll show you with my regular impact and then we'll step it up to the big one. The big one, it's, you know, because there's no variable speed, it's quite fast. You don't get that variable speed easing into it. So it's a little bit harder to control sometimes. This is, I would say, more used for pulling off a tire. It's great for that, but you know, the more bolts I start driving, I think I'm probably going to have to get a one with the high-low speed on it, just so I have a bit more control. And then I can always switch and put this bit on, which is pretty sweet. And I think, yeah, if you're into doing LVLs, that type of stuff, decking, you know, ledger boards, big beams, post and beam stuff, you probably have one of these large impacts. And yeah, if you do have one of the newer 20 volt max, I'd love to hear from you, and let me know if it's worth it. If you know, if you're finding that they really get the job done. So let's start off just for a quick demo here. We'll drive in this one here. I think this is roughly 3 inches. I'll just take a quick measurement. 3 1/8 probably. Yeah, these are the 3 1/8. So we'll just drive this in. This will be no problem at all. Okay, no problem. We'll just let that cool off. Don't even want to touch it. And then we'll put in one of these guys, and this is a 4-inch. This bit here, this is a 5/16, and it's got the magnet removal here, so you just flick this forward and you can get off any of the shavings. So it's kind of a cool bit. It's meant for impact, so it's nice and strong. And let's just drive this guy in. Okay, no problem. And I think with this piece of wood too, it's dry, it's been around for a while, so drilling into it is not going to be an issue. But it's this bit or screw here that becomes the problem. Now I can't go into this board because they don't have threads all the way, so as soon as I get past, it's not going to go anywhere. So it's just here for show, and I'm just kind of basically telling you what I've been experiencing and why I've, you know, switched over to this guy when I'm driving in lots of lag bolts. And so that's why I picked up this little Dewalt adapter. So with the adapter, like I said, it's 1/4 inch, so you just put them in there. It's just like the front of a regular impact. Okay, just pull the collar. This one pulls back and they come out. Now I have read some reviews saying that this gets a little stuck and wears out. I will let you know if that happens. Right now it's been pretty good. So let's drive this guy in. Now this isn't variable, so bear with me if I screw up. So there we go. So no problem getting this in. It's gonna be so hot. Gotta be super careful. I'm not gonna burn my fingers. And we'll pull that out. We'll drive in with this 5/16. So again, no problem. And I'm not feeling any serious torque on this at all. So if you have, you know, one of these old impacts, you can definitely keep using it, you know, for the odd time you need it, especially if you're doing decking or fencing. You could probably pick one of these up on Amazon for a decent price, or even like pawn shops, things like that. You don't necessarily have to get into the 20 volt lineup. And so I think that's, for now, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to keep using this because I do want to save my smaller impacts. They're just, especially these nice ones with the 3 speeds, you know, they're like $150, maybe a little more sometimes. So I'd rather keep this for the small bolts and screws and use this for the big ones. And by having this adapter, that is allowing me to do that. Now to take it off, you can't just pull it. You've got to push this pin in right here. Okay, just push the pin and then you can pull it right off. So no problem. So make sure when you're putting it on, you get that hole lined up with that pin. And it locks it in as well. If you do it the other way, it won't lock in. The pin will just stay depressed, and then this will just be able to come out no problem. So you always want to have that lined up. And this is by Dewalt, and we'll leave a link down below. And yeah, they're about 25 bucks in that neighborhood. So we'll leave a link down below, and yeah, let me know what you think. If you've got any comments, that'd be great. But until next time, guys, you know, give me a comment, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. Keep on crushing it, and we'll catch you later.